from Alton, Illinois. She just had a baby, wanted to be near family. So when you get on these board of directors, sometimes it's, kind of cool, like I've been the president for 2 years, walk around, be the president, but occasionally you have to do some work. We had over 20 hours of interviews, man. I had 2 6-hour evenings interviewing people, but we hired a recruiter, we got a gal in, we're really excited about the future.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. Thanks for all you do in that too.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Tom.
Give it up for Tom. That's good stuff. By the way, guys, find your thing, whatever that is, and pour into it. And we have a lot of people involved in scouting and, different things for the city of Belton, city of Raymore, the school districts. Find your jam and go deep with that stuff. You've built a lot of relationships in that organization over the years. And not only is it a good thing to do just outright, but it's probably good for business too. Right? Agreed?
Yeah.
What else?
Something good.
Come on, guys. Loosen up a little today.
It's
okay. There you go.
Okay.
Nice.
Woo.
Congratulations. Beat that one. Yes, Teresa.
Love that.
We had 2 courts and we all just playing together. And then we went to the restaurant side and we celebrated our twin boys. They turned 30 years old. And so this is just a big fun family time. So, and then something businessy. I got there at 7:45 this morning to meet with a buyer, introduce her to Todd, and that was great.
Wow.
Hey,
Well, there you go. What a way to start the day. I like that.
it's a great start.
Who else? What do you got? Come on, guys.
We just sent 2 of our, it's not good. I mean, this part of it's good, part of it's not. We just sent 2 of our kids back to college yesterday. That was the hard part, but it was hard because we had like 5 amazing weeks, 5 great weeks with the kids at home. It felt like we had all the chicks back in the nest. We had a lot of fun. We had some memories, great Christmas, one of the best Christmases we've had in a long time. So it made sending them back to Tulsa a little teary yesterday, but
I bet.
that's a good
I bet. We were fortunate enough to be able to go to dinner with them. Was it Friday or Saturday? We just had pizza, nothing really casual, to just get to know their kids more. And she's got 3 kids that are absolutely amazing. You and Caesar, not just you.
Yeah.
Have 3 kids that are just they're just polite. They're smart. They're, just really, really good kids. I don't know where they got it, but they're good kids.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Obviously adopted, right?
They look too much like us to be adopted.
That might be hard to pull off, right?
Yeah, yeah. What else? What else was good? What else is going good? And anybody else send anybody off to college real quick? Just me. It was usually Chad Green's right there with it. But
yeah, that's right.
What's your something good?
Kinsey wanted a monster truck for Christmas, so we got Monster Jam tickets.
Woohoo!
She and Rhett is more mesmerized by the dirt moving equipment and all that stuff. But Kins was super in love with all the trucks, and we were able to snag Sparkle Smash, the driver, and get a picture. So Kins was.
And she's how old?
She's 3.
She's 3.
So it was like, so now our family vacation's geared around where the next monster comes.
Hey, we've been to Monster Jam. We even looked at tickets this year, so we like it too. That's awesome. Very loud though.
Oh yeah,
very loud. Yeah,
but they wear that anyways on the side by side stuff. So.
Very good. All right. Anything else? Last chance? Something good? Sandy, you got something good? She just. What you got? She's 1. She's 1, yeah.
That's fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
At 4:00.
Oh, I get that. Oh, I get that. All right. Well, appreciate you sharing. Let's move on because we do have a packed meeting today. Do want to hear from our preferred vendors. We appreciate you, vendors. Lisa, you want to come up? Lisa from CAFA. Give it up for Lisa.
Yay, Lisa.
Thanks, everyone. Just wanted to remind everybody that we are closed on Monday for Martin Luther King, and then we're closed on the 16th for President's Day, also a Monday. So about a month from each other. We also, Jody wanted me to mention to everyone, we have several closings that have kind of bunched up together on the 29th and 30th. So she's trying to get emails out to everybody to get them scheduled. So please go ahead if you have something in that week, that last week of January, please go ahead and reach out to her, get those scheduled, get things in if we need anything, that type of thing. So we're not waiting till the last minute and somebody doesn't get their preferred closing time. The other thing is the FinCEN title company joint meeting is tomorrow, the final one. They think probably the final one. So if you want to attend that, you can take investor clients, builder clients, you can make this a something that you have with your clients to, educate them, make you're more valuable to them because you've given them this information. But that is tomorrow from 1 to 4 in Lee Summit. You do have to RSVP for that because they literally only allow for so many. It's at the firemen's union or whatever. So you could see how they would be very strict on how many people can be in the building. But anyway, so I did send that to Brandy just a little bit ago and asked her to send that back out. There is on the flyer, there is a link that you just clicked RSVP. So thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, Lisa.
Good job,
Appreciate you.
Lisa. Quick question. Who was at the FinCEN training last week? Okay. Any ahas there? To me, it seemed doable, manageable. What do you guys think? Anybody scared of it? Communicate. Yeah, that's good. Anybody? What, Ryan? That's great questions. Yeah, right. Hey, that's not a deal breaker. I just need to know. Right.
Close it.
Yeah, we just got a little paper trail we got to kind of dance with. Yeah. For those of you that just had that blank look when I asked about the FinCEN thing, it is March 1st. It hasn't changed, right? Okay. So officially March 1st, cash deals with entities purchasing. So LLCs, that sort of thing. And even entities that are possibly using, we'll call it funny money or the hard money stuff or any of that. So if in doubt, get with title people and get that communication going. Where I'm concerned, I think most of us that represent buyers who are our buyers, right, that are buying in those kind of things, we'll figure that out. But my concern is where you're on the listing side and an offer comes in and maybe you're not realizing doing business with this entity, I will have my seller have to jump through a few more paperwork hoops. I don't think it's all that bad. That what I saw is quite manageable, but it isn't if we get it the day before closing, right? So just know what kind of dance you're going to do with that. That doesn't mean, I don't want to take that guy's offer. I wouldn't go that far at all. Just know we got to build in enough time to do the documentation. Be sure the buyer's agent is aware that that documentation has to happen. Just because you've been trained on it, don't assume the people at Platinum have. God forbid. It is just, more than most. So just know that most of the time. Yep.
Individual purchasing to sometimes that happens a lot. That is the whole dynamic. So then it brings, again, buyer has to fill out the questionnaire, seller has to, but it will delay closing. There's no way around it. If it's not completed by both parties and it has to be completed, we can't move forward.
Yep.
Any of the kind.
Yeah, it's a big change, guys. I mean, I've been in this a long time, Darren. It's a complete pivot in the way of doing business. And more things like that will probably arrive in our world, if I had my guess. So it's the new norm. Right?
New norm.
Yep.
All right. All right. Let's move on to Fairway Mortgage with Todd Branson. All right.
Rates are going down, Todd.
Todd.
Thank you.
You get a much better, applause when the rates are kind of trending lower. You notice that?
I should
Yeah.
pissing it go. All right. So real good win. Over the holidays, Alex sends me a client and I told him I was going to talk about this today. And during Christmas holidays, and one of the borrowers has a 790 credit score and the other borrower has a 606. So the loan will default to the lowest score borrower. So the 790 person is like, hey, I'm 790. Well, your co-borrower is 606. So we're going to default to that. So that said, I can look at the 606 and on my credit report, it'll give me some ideas and suggestions of how to get the score up. So immediately 606 it's doable FHA. And I put it in the system and I got them approved FHA at 606. Okay. But in my conversation, I'm like, I think if you just do this or this, we get your score up. And by getting her score up, it was going to get dramatically better interest rate and everything. So they took my advice. They had 2 credit cards that they were at the limit or over the limit. This is a big no-no in the credit score modeling world. So a $400 Visa, if you have a balance of 405, that is a huge hit. $300 Visa, have a balance of 305, another huge hit. The credit models don't know that it's $400. They do, but they don't look at that. They look at if your balance exceeds your limit, you are on a fast track to bankruptcy. That's how the models look at it. So when somebody's over their limit, one of the quickest fixes is to get it back under. Okay, so having done this for 20 some years and rescoring, I took if we get the balance under 10% of the limit, so a $400 card, get it under $40. A $300 card, get it under $30. So we came to the agreement they would get both balances at under $30. They paid it down real quickly. I got evidence of it. I sent it to the bureau. We got it rescored. Her new score goes from 606 to 686. Now, the difference in that is 0.5% in mortgage rate.
Wow.
So on a $325,000 house they're going to look at today with Alex, $108 a month. Now, rescoring is not something that every lender will do. Darren, you know that. I mean, some lenders won't do it. And the reason they won't, because it's expensive. And guess what? You can't bill. Can't bill the customer. The lender has to pay for it. So it's a business decision. But in my situation, I'm knowing that they're actively looking. 2 people have good jobs. We just got a couple of situations credit card wise that we can fix pretty easy. As a business decision, it was $240 for me. And guess what I'll do? I'll do that all day if it makes sense. Okay. So anyway, today they're super excited. I let them know they're good on Friday. They're out looking with Alex and we'll probably write an offer. The listing agent is actually in this office. So hopefully we can put a deal together on that. But rescoring, not all lenders do it, like I said, because it's expensive. Some banks won't do it at all because they just don't like it. Because quite honestly, loan officers will abuse it. I've had loan officers come to me and I have 10 accounts. I want to rescore. No, you don't. We're not doing 10 because it's expensive. So we have to, make a business decision and manage it. But in that case, that was low hanging fruit in my world. I could see how that was going to improve them dramatically. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys.
Todd, Brandy, can I talk about something there? One of the concepts Todd kind of worked through there, I don't know how familiar you guys are with this, but you can have a client that, just think about risk from a lender standpoint. You have a client that has 2 credit cards, they're $1,000 maxes for each, and they're both maxed out at $1,000, okay? What the bank sees there is somebody that if there's an emergency in their life, has anybody ever used a credit card to get tires or fix a car? Okay, they don't have that to lean on. So they're kind of risky. There's no available credit to them at this time. That same client you could have another buyer that also owes $2,000 on 2 credit cards, but the available credit on that, let's say it was $5,000 per card, they have all kinds of wiggle room if life hits them hard. So you can see why one is considered far more risky than the other, right, Todd? So that's important. That's just a concept that's in lending, but think about that and it actually does make some sense. We've all had crisis hit. Isn't it nice to be able to pull out MasterCard or Visa to solve it short term for us? The people that are maxed out don't have that option. Something to think about.
Limits up, balances down.
Yep, there you go. Yeah, well done.
All right, love it. Okay, well, it looks like Ryan. Ryan, are you up? Ryan Couvert with
Ryan, yeah.
bouncing around a minute?
Yeah, it's fine.
Toes?
Hope everybody's doing well. I just had a client that actually did a listing shoot for this morning, booked a video. Video is part of her marketing strategy this year. She's trying to go heavy on it. She asked me how much I charge for agent intros. I don't charge for those. I always have my mics and everything on me. I didn't know people are charging extra to have an agent in the video. I only see benefits for both of us. If your branding does better, you get more listings, then hopefully I get more shoots. So I don't charge for that. And if you have any questions about just editing or anything that you want to start doing your own, just let me know.
Perfect.
He shot a fun video with us while we were working on just pictures and videos for listings, and I've had 4 people in the last week tell me how funny that one was. And it was all his idea. and he told us what to say, and I've received more compliments on his than any of mine. So. So,
Right.
what he's doing.
Director of talent,
It
right?
was- It was awesome, and we were scared to be scripted, but he got it done with us pretty quick, and my
Awesome.
dad even did okay. Usually, he's pretty subpar, so.
Nice.
All right.
Paul's not here. He's getting hammered.
Not. Sorry, Paul. Thanks, Ryan. All right, how Buffy? Buffy, you want to come up here?
Buffy.
Buffy with Royal Roofing and Solar. Appreciate all the little pop bys you bring us, and the little caramel apples and hot cocoa.
Cocoa at the
Yeah.
Christmas time. That was good.
Okay, so today I was in actually it was Saturday. I was in a situation that I was down in Springfield for my niece's first birthday, and I overheard somebody say that stupid roofer, and I was like, "Ooh, what'd they say?" And so I went to him. I'm like, "You're from Kansas City. Why are you talking about stupid roofer? What's your situation?" She goes, "I've been dealing with a roofer for 7 months." I'm like, 7 months on your house? Like, what's your situation? She goes, "I have 3 active leaks." And I said, "They tarp your roof?" No. I'm like, "You realize like you probably have interior damage." She goes, "Oh yeah, we have buckets around our house." I'm like, "And they haven't tarped your roof?" She's like, "No." Long story short, she sent me the scope for insurance policy that same day. Braden went out yesterday, and it's actually their insurance did pay a little bit for a claim. However, she's like, "I don't have much over my deductible." I'm like, "That's okay. We offer financing." Not only did Braden get the job approved yesterday, we're getting a whole roof out of what they thought was just a small repair. And so I want you guys to know, like, we will take on those small projects because now they can get insurance at a replacement cost policy because they were going to get canceled because they had a claim that wasn't going to, give them a whole new roof. So we can take on those small things too, because it may benefit your customer in the long run also. So just know, we don't just want whole roofs, we can do repairs too. So.
Wonderful.
To know.
Thank you, Buffy.
That.
Appreciate it.
All right, I don't see any other vendors. If there, speak if you speak if you're here, please. All right. This week I'll hit all this in a minute. Let's back by popular demand, buyers, sellers, and open houses. Tell us what you got coming up. Let's start with sellers. Who's got listings coming up you want to tell us about? Shelby.
I've got a really cute starter house in Harrisonville. It's $199.9. It'll be live the end of February. And it is 3 bed, 1 bath, 1 car garage. This is the perfect starter house. So very cute and some paint and flooring, but very cute. So very well taken care of.
Okay, very good. Who else? Listings. Yep.
I also have my, the townhouse in Leawood.
Mhm.
And it really is, but really good open house last weekend, and we're gonna do another one this weekend. But it's really sort of rare, and it's 530, which over there is cheap. And it's just very well done. The neighbor came in and said, "Man, I wish I would have seen this first." But the competition are some of these villas that are 1.5. So I think it's the only one for sale right now. They usually come up and go, but we were just listing in a weird time. But it's so nice, and it's maintenance provided. It's definitely, empty nester. It's not a family kind of home. High end, nice stuff. Everything's sort of new. And again, the maintenance provided. Very nice area, like 146th and Kennett.
Okay.
South. Quieter part of Overland Park if they don't want to be in a crazy, 151st, 159th area. It's really it is quite a gem, so I'm actually surprised we still have it, but I think it'll go pretty quick. But if you know any empty nesters, kind of looking for something like that. let me know.
Okay. Thank you. Ryan, what you got?
I've got a couple of them. The first one's on Grandview, just north of Greenview City. It's a 2-1, great starter home for somebody. It's on a crawl space. It's just been flipped. So the hardwoods are finished. Everything's been touched inside. New roof, new windows, even sprung for double home windows. I think anyway, looks really nice. Stop by yesterday, take pictures. That should be up this afternoon. That'll hit the market at 175. Sits on a half-acre lot, so a ton of space right there on Green Road. You can actually hear and see the highway from there. Again, access to getting to town is good, but you are close to the city there. The other one we have is in Stony Creek, and that one's going to hit the market. This house is 4 years old. It is in immaculate shape. I'm actually going to take a look at it again today on a couple things. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 3-car garage, reverse.
and, finished basement, about 2,700 square feet on that one. That's in the market later this month, and that will be, 585.
Nice. Very good. Love that.
Got EcoGlen subdivision, California split, 4-bedroom, a really nice house, roof and HVAC, all less than 5 years old. Just had the hardwood floors refinished, and we're having new floor countertops put in the kitchen, so it's gonna be a nice one at $399,900, 400,000, coming up about mid-February. Also have one in the Olive Branch in Peculiar, reverse story and a half. This home is only 3 years old, 4 years old. Daphne. Okay. Home is just there. And that one, yeah, and that home is in the Olive Branch, reverse story and a half. Like it's 4-bedroom also. That's going to be coming in at around 5.25. We're meeting with them again tonight. And then also we have a nice Ruskin Royale. And this one's nice and well taken care of, and it's going to be in the 165 range. And we currently have a really nice property in Leavenworth. If you know anybody up in that area, it is a reverse story and a half. Floor plan, finally getting some action on it. The showing was slow, but I'm starting to get some. So if you know anybody up there, we're ready to make a deal on that.
You still got a bar in Deepwater?
Actually, my sign is still in the window. It's not a sign that we just had made up, so I still
Okay.
get called on it, but I don't have a listing.
Gotcha. Oh, broker, cover your ears.
Tom,
broker.
Darren, Tom, you'll need a meeting afterwards.
La 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 la. Yes, Josh, what you got?
One that's going pre-MLS today, going live hopefully next week, but probably the week after, in Odessa. There's one home currently for sale under $300,000 in the entire small city, and it is a dilapidated turd. Ours will not be a dilapidated turd. I posted a vague post in the Odessa page. Might find my own buyer. I think I had 5 people message because there's nothing. It's 3-bed, 2-bath, split entry. Probably gonna be mid-2s, and then potentially have one coming up here, Ward Park Place. That's split level, walk-in living room, stairs up to the kitchen, bathroom stuff. Mid-3s. They will probably be desperate to sell it within a week of going on the market because they want to buy a house that's currently on the market, and their house isn't even ready to sell yet. So, well, all right.
There we go. See, that's why we do this. That's why we do
They're gonna
this.
need to sell it to, unless Todd gives them lots of extra money, which he won't.
Yeah.
They're gonna need to sell this to buy a house, and they're desperate, so. It's injury.
So that's why we do this, not just to brag on what listings we have coming up. We do this to put deals together for, you guys are we're networking together. That's one thing that you can tell your buyers and your sellers when you're meeting with them. We network together with, 40 other agents every week about what's coming on the market, what's new, what needs we have, that kind of thing. So.
And our Facebook page,
And our Facebook
lobbing these things out there. Yeah.
Yep. Teresa.
So, we're gonna be listing their sale, and it's about a $300,000 price point on Blue Summit, 1.5 story, cute, charming little first home. It even has a main-level garage. We've got 2 bedrooms on the main, 1 bath, 2 bedrooms up, 1 bath, and then it has a finished basement. It's adorable, and then they want to buy and leave Summit as well. Preferably, they would love to be in Oak Tree Farms, which we moved up to about 400,000.
Okay.
And so that's gonna all come into PMLS pretty soon. And then, so on the lot home in Kingsville, they're like, Teresa, sell it. So get it sold, drop the price, negotiate, whatever we gotta do. So,
I got a call on that right before the meeting about it.
Okay.
oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, thank you.
Okay.
I got excited, just a call, they didn't have a buyer yet, so anyway.
Nice.
Prayer.
Love it. All right. Anybody else? Yes.
It's in Branson, I know, but it's a condo in Branson that does have a lockout, and she just told me last week she's willing, we have it at 193,750, and she's gonna drop it this week to 175. She just wants it gone, she owns it free and clear, so. just throwing it out
Airbnb
there.
potential.
Airbnb potential.
Yep.
And it has a lockout, so you can rent both sides. So it's 2 bedroom, 2 bath. And you can do the lockout kind of like as a hotel room, kind of, so basically what it looks like.
Well, I'll talk to you about it later.
See, look at that. Love it.
But
Let's do that. Yep.
Making deals.
Towards the end of this week on that. If anybody's looking for an investment property there in Phoenix City, rents are 11 to 1400. If anybody lives in Section 8 for investors, that will go as high as 1640. I need that one gone ASAP.
Okay.
So bring me an offer.
All right.
Numbers will not be an option. So bring me something.
Something. Yes. All right. Love it. All right. Buyer needs, anything out there that you aren't finding that you need for a buyer? What do we got? Yep.
We have a buyer need. They would have to be Cass County, would like to have from 2 acres to as much as 5 to 7, right in that range. 800,000, 5 to 800,000 kind of range. It needs to be a ranch, story and a half, or reverse, so main floor services. Nice house, small, manageable acreage. And right now, there's not much out there. You know, it's time of year, so I'm sure. But if you guys are dealing with anything like that, keep us in mind. We also just launched in Creekmore Friday, reverse on the 9th hole. Super nice house, 715,000, fully furnished, immaculate, and the guy is not living there. So anybody wants to hold an open house, you get a furnished open house, just like a model house,
Sweet.
and no cellar. So that's kind of nice. You can do it whatever times are convenient for you.
Awesome.
That's assuming you guys didn't sell it last night. Okay,
Ooh,
good.
okay.
Well,
Love that.
see, you never
All
know.
right. All right. Any last? Yep.
Mid threes, Belton, Raymore, kind of whatever, kind of max 350, 355. They're moving from a 1,200 square foot house, so if they want more space, they're pretty open to whatever, so.
Gotcha.
But yeah, Belton, Raymore, and 350.
Okay.
At least 3 bed.
Okay. Let's put these, I'm watching the
Yeah.
clock. We have a lot to cover still. So we love this part. So please continue to put these in the Facebook group. Let's network together. Let us know of your buyer needs. Let us know of your listings coming on. All right. Awesome. This is coming up, James Shaw on Thursday. If you didn't get signed up, we have 25 agents signed up to go. So
Wow.
great job there. Nothing like waiting until the last minute to get in, but it's okay. We got in and love that. But if you didn't get, if you're not one of the 25 and you want in, come talk to me. There's a chance I can still get you in as long as there's seats available. I'm happy to do that. Did you have something on that or no? Okay. I thought you were. So that's coming up Thursday. Meet us at the Overland Park Convention Center, 9 a.m. There's still time to RSVP for this one. Cody Gibson coming to the Maverick on next Wednesday of next week, January 21st. You're RSVPing on Facebook on that one. On Facebook, just go, since it's free, just go say, I'll be there or I'm in or whatever, and we'll get those numbers turned in for you. Last day to RSVP is Thursday. This is coming up. It is a renewal year in Missouri. So your CE credits, don't forget, how many core credits do we need from Missouri? Core, 3. Sorry, I forgot to tell you, pop quiz. 3 core credits. How many electives? 9. Okay, so this right here is, we're bringing CE right here to the office. Patrick has done some training here before. This one is the upcoming fair housing class. This will check your Missouri core. It also one class, Missouri core, checks off a Kansas elective, and it gets your NAR fair housing checked. So this one might be a good one to jump in on. Cost is $25. We are limited, Laura, I don't see Laura. I think there you are, like 30 people. Okay, so everybody has to have a chair. Like whoever does this they have rules. Like you have to be in the room the whole time. You can't be late. You can't watch online. You have to be in a chair, like all these things.
Stay awake.
Stay awake. Right. Correct. So it does cost $25. Sign up. Patrick is already starting to watch to make sure that we're getting in, because if we don't get enough people signed up, he won't come out, kind of thing. So this is the first, Laura's been working hard to bring enough CE classes into the Market Center. So hopefully you can get them all taken care of here. This one costs, sometimes they're free, but because this one's fair housing, it does all those things. He does have to charge. So be watching for this, sign up. Don't wait till the last minute because we might get canceled. So go ahead and sign up. This one's February 27th. So we got lots of time, But yeah, go ahead and be watching and throw that on your calendar. We maybe can, but I want to leave that for our agents first. So if that is a thing, because I do have people asking us, do you guys have any CE classes in your office? Well, of course, first priority goes to Southland, but if there are extra seats, I might open them up to other brokerages. I don't want to do that because I feel like we all can fill this room. All right. Do you have questions? See Laura? Hello?
Yay!
Oh, come on in then. I was gonna say, this slide wasn't in there this morning. Wow.
Well, I wanted us to sing happy birthday to this woman who happens to be my wife of 23 years.
Wow.
And I wanted to give you guys real quickly, that's our family, by the way, and Lonnie's right. We have the 3 best kids ever. They take after their mom, but they all look like me, so I don't know how to. Yeah, and they're all taller than Brandy, so she's now the tiny one. And I wanted to real quickly tell you guys 3 cool facts.
Oh my gosh.
No, real briefly, but number 3, she actually has a teaching degree and she taught for a while. And the funniest part about that is after we got married, I realized she has a teaching degree. I feel like this woman gets me and I'm very different in the way I think. She happens to have a degree in behavior disordered teaching. So if you feel like she really gets you, I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. Number 2, this is actually a crazy story about it. If you ever want to know more, ask her. But she actually had a softball-sized tumor taken out of her spine. The reason I want to tell you guys this is because she's the toughest woman. 10 days in the hospital, broken ribs, double thoracotomy, split her chest wide open. That was a crazy time, and that's a cool fact about her. And number 1,
Cool story.
number 1, she was the arm wrestling champion in college.
Yeah.
So even though I'm the one that trains in martial arts, she can still take you down because she has freakishly strong arms, and that's a cool fact about my honey. And I wanted to also just say happy birthday. And she also always is thinking about you guys, worrying about you guys, wondering about you guys, talking about you guys. And so eat a piece of cake on her behalf. And that's all I had. So I don't know. Do we want to sing?
Who can sing? Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Brandy. Happy birthday to you.
Guys.
Thank you, guys. And I'm the only one that will spank her. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. This meeting's looking up.
I meant birthdays, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know why they did it over here on this.
That day, but I'm totally shocked and surprised. Like I said, none of those slides were in there about 20 minutes ago or last time I looked at it. So thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thanks, Jenny, for leading us in song.
Yeah.
Sharon said, besides that issue back there, we're good, right? Is that right? Oh,
Oh, yeah.
That's my microphone, so he probably should. Can we borrow?
There you go, buddy.
So this is just spur of the moment. I told Brandy and Caesar earlier that I really didn't have anything. But as always, I've said this maybe last week, maybe the week before. I think we all need to slow down writing or a contract or an offer.
We're in trouble again.
Getting a listing, kind of go through all those paragraphs with our client so that they understand what we're doing and what to expect. Here's how the 10-day inspection period goes. Here's what can happen if this happens. And we need to make sure we tell the buyers, yes, you're entitled to your earnest money back, but that seller might be a prick. Sorry. Might be a jerk. Where's the swear jar? Amber's office. How's enforcement work on that? The seller has to sign the cancellation. So yes, Mrs. Buyer, you should get your money back, but the seller determines if and when you get it back without a fight with an attorney or however all that goes. So that was it. We just self-included. We need to slow down, explain stuff to our clients so they're not blindsided. Well, you didn't tell me that could happen. We need to tell them what can happen. I don't know. I think that's it.
All right.
Thanks,
Thanks,
buddy.
Darren.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. All right. Appreciate that. It's good to know. Okay. We got some November awards. I know that says November. It says fashionably late, just like a true award show diva. We might have been a little busy and thought we did our November awards and realized we didn't. So our apologies there. We're going to do November today, and then next week is ALC, and then the following week we'll do December. So we're going to get caught up here real quick. So appreciate your grace on that. One last thing is because they are a little fashionably late, we had a little bit of trouble with our listings taken. We double checked them as much as we can. The problem is, and this is probably going to be like, whoop, it's kind of over my head, but the way our transmitting system works, once we transmit to the company, things get locked down. We can't change things after we've transmitted. Then we transmit it again for December. So to go back to November, not that we can change anything, but we can't access we normally double check and triple check our listings taken. So all that's saying the listings taken might be a smidge. If it's not quite right, come see us. We'll make it right. We'll just have to do stuff manually. All that to say, please give us a little grace on this one. We're sorry. You sound good?
Do it.
All right.
Tim here?
Do it.
Is Tim here? Oh, okay.
All right.
He loves doing this.
Loves this.
All right. In the group category, closed sales, our number 3 group, 900,000, Fife Real Estate. Good job, guys. Number 2 group, Lonnie Branson Real Estate, 2.269.
All right. 2.2.
Number 1 in the group categories, guys are crushing it. New Edge, 2.583.
Right.
Good job,
Very
guys.
good.
Team category, number 3 team was Austin Real Estate at 235. The Keith team at 315. I know
All
one or
right.
two of them are here. How about this one, Lacey Land and Home, 1.33? What?
Good job.
There's no money to be made in November. How many times have I heard that in my career? Individuals, that's one person. Chad Green, 350,000.
Hi, Chad.
Number 9 individual, Scott Swaggart, 480.
Good, Scott.
Trisha Henson, 570. Nice. Number 7 individual. This girl, by the way, is Jen Thompson here today? Hope she's listening. She's got like a couple different jobs. She's got a little bit of grit.
Yeah,
I like that about her. 580,000 for Jen Thompson.
Ben.
Tori Richmond, 586,000. Our number 6 individual. How about Dave Meisner, number 5 at 605? Good job, buddy. Number 4 individual, Shelby, 770 at the split zone. Woo. Number 3 individual, Nathan Priest, 1.1.
Still Nathan.
Ruslyn York, 1.15. Our number 2 individual. And our number 1 individual, closed sales volume. She's new to the business. Sandra Paxton. Sandra. Listings taken volume. Number 2 group, Lonnie Branson, 414,000. Number 1 in the group, New Edge, 450,000. Groups did not have a good listing month, right? Teams, number 3 team, Nieto Network, 250K. Good job, Randy. Brick and Mortar, 250,000.
Okay.
Number 2 team, Lesmeister Real Estate, 295.
Go Carrie.
And our number 1 team, O'Connor Real Estate, 400 grand. Individuals, our number 7 individual, 200,000, Jenny Wagner.
Jenny.
Number 6 individual, Glenda, 215,000. Monica, it's on. Oh yeah, there she is. Number 5 individual, Yelena Harlow, 260,000.
Nice.
Broker Darren, 405,000. Good job, Darren.
Good job, Darren.
Trisha Henson, 507,000.
All right.
James McClay, 675,000. How about this individual for November? Scott Swagger, 1.75. That'll do it. $1 million months, big months. Lonnie Branson Real Estate. Silas Ferrari Gray. No, it's not a Ferrari. What is it?
McLaren.
I'm sorry, buddy. Take me for a drive and I'll never make that mistake again. $1 million a month, Jacob and Caitlin. Good job, guys. Miss Sandy Paxton, $1 million a month.
Yeah.
Good job, Sandy. I wish she was here today. Russell in York, $1 million a month.
Yep.
They got a lot going on,
You've got a
those
couple
girls.
jobs.
Yeah, she does. She's dual career. Is there a tri-career?
career,
Triple
yeah.
career? New award. Home run. We like home runs. Means a closing, a listing, and an under contract. Christian Jones, first time I think is a home run. Good job.
Home run.
Sandy Paxton, home run. Good job, Sandy. Scott Swaggart, rookie, home run. Silas McLaren Gray,
There we
home
go.
run.
There we go.
And me.
And me, Jeff. Good. I love it.
It's all you.
Thank you. All right. Appreciate your grace on that. And we, it's always fun to recognize you. You work hard and we never want to skip it or just move over it. It's important. So
Just so you know where the mistake came from, we had a meeting about 2 weeks ago. And we talked about awards and all that. And I convinced them that I actually gave out the awards for November. And then we went back and I didn't.
yeah. Oops.
That's on me.
All right. Well, I do have a few things I want to chat with us about, and Lonnie's going to jump in and add. Remember, we started talking last week about how January can sometimes be a slower month, a slower time for realtors. Hopefully, it's not for you, but if it is, it's a great time while the market is a little slow or your business is a little slow to actually work on the business with your systems. Building the systems that will run your business when things get faster, right? So that's where we started last week. We talked about the first two. Well, let me just jump in here. The power of systems. Keller Williams, we talk a lot about models and systems. The 4 models, does everybody remember the ELBO, economic model, budget model, lead generation model, organizational model. Those are the models. Then there's systems. And there's lots of systems for different things. And so the power of systems, if you don't have great systems, now's a great time to work on those systems. Right? Remember, we're just catching us up from last week. So these were the 5, this is from last week, the 5 core systems that every top realtor builds: lead generation, follow-up, pre-contact, contract, client experience, your in-transaction system, and then your post-closing transaction system. There's just 5. I just picked 5 cores. There could be lots more. There could, anyway.
If you don't figure out number 1, the rest of them really don't have.
True. That's true.
Something to think about. You don't have a lot of
Something to think about.
transactions if you don't figure out how to lead generate.
That's right. That's right. So we talked about the first 2, the lead gen and the follow-up. We did that last week. So we're going to start here with the pre-contract client experience system. Back here, this is the first impression. So when before you've picked up a client, they have agreed to work with you. Now what? What does that experience look like for them? So this is some examples of things you might think about. When you're sitting down with the buyer, what do you give them? Do you give them a checklist? What does that look like? When you're sitting down with the seller, your listing appointment flow. What do you bring in with you to that appointment? What do you bring in are you telling them what's going on? Are you telling them what's coming next? Do you give them a welcome email or packet? I like giving them a roadmap through the transaction. I like doing that so that they can know what to expect. Lonnie, thoughts here on your pre-contract before you go under contract?
I mean, you guys, I'm more of a listing agent, so this is really important to me. I kind of know what I need to hit in that kitchen table meeting, so I'm not there for 2 hours. And I don't want to miss any of those things. I want to talk about open house. I want to talk about flyer boxes, things I don't do. I want them to understand how showings work. And we're going through a lot of these things. If I don't cover that, what will happen is we'll cover it when the first time it comes up. And I'll look back and go, did I not talk about that? So I'm real intentional about being sure I do that. Really, really important. And I love the idea of having a roadmap through a transaction. Even if you're working with a client who has bought and sold many houses, you don't know what kind of experience they had, but remind them, hey, we're going to go to contract. There's typically an inspection period. Then here comes the appraiser. Then here comes the closing and possession and those sorts of things. Just map out what this thing looks like for them.
Absolutely.
And the whole time say, hey, by the way, I'll remind you of all this, but just a quick overview is a very good idea. I even like an idea. I tend to put things on paper. So
I do too.
That's not a bad idea.
I do. Yeah. I throw it in my packet and because I know they will refer. Now, maybe at the moment sitting at the table, it means nothing to them, but I promise once we go under contract, they're going to refer back to that. So just think about your pre-contract client experience. Ask yourself, what should every client experience no matter how busy I get? This is the power of systems, because as you get busier, if it all relies on you remembering to send that email, remembering to give that information, remembering, you're going to forget. Or you're going to limit yourself to, you won't get as busy as you want to get because you don't have the leverage from a good system. So ask yourself that question. I'm going to move this out of the way. I have a feeling it's going to be in the way. All right. Here's another question to ask yourself as you're generating these systems. What do I want clients to say about me when they refer me to other people? Think about that. What do you want someone to say about you? And that's what we need to deliver. So those are two great questions that to help you think about your system. Do you want somebody to go, yeah, I could hardly reach them. I didn't know what was coming next. Is that what you want them to say? Like, hey, great guy, but kind of loosey-goosey, good luck. That's not what we want. Of course, you want to say, I knew exactly what was coming next. I could reach him. I could reach her. That's the kind of thing it'll help you know how to handle what experience you're delivering to your client. Thoughts about any of that, Lonnie?
Communication.
Yep.
Yeah. You can, if you are a good communicator, you can handle just about all the curveballs that happen during a transaction. You can cover the fact that maybe you did miss something at listing presentation. If you're a good communicator, you'll just work right through that.
Sure.
So communicate frequently, whatever that's going to be. I'm a phone guy, still do a lot of phone stuff. There's nothing wrong with text, but I think every once in a while, talking to the people. We launched 2 listings on Thursday or Friday. Both had a lot of traffic over the weekend. And I'm sitting there going, man, I hope they're seeing the feedbacks. And I'm like, what am I worried about? At the listing presentation, I told them, hey, these feedbacks will be coming in 24 to 48 hours after showings. If not, I'll go track them down. I see them in real time with you, so you don't need to call me. I'm watching these like a hawk. Then I'll give you an update early in the week, typically Monday or Tuesday, often Tuesday because most agents don't do anything on Monday, except me, that sort of stuff. And I'm like, no, I've covered that with both those sellers, so there's nothing I needed to really do. But communicate.
Love it. Yep. Love it. The power of systems is that when you're consistent, that consistency builds trust. They know what they can expect from you. When they refer you to their grandmother or their, neighbor, they're going to know that you're consistent. You are consistent with them, and they can trust that you're going to be consistent and take care of their people too. And so just remember that consistency. Whatever you do, be consistent. Hopefully you do good things that you're consistent at. Hopefully we're good at answering phones and being a great communicator. That is how we will build trust with our people. Number 4 system is the in-transaction system. This is after you get something under contract. Stress reduction. When you reduce stress, you're going to create raving fans, because top agents don't just close deals, they reduce anxiety. And if you've ever bought and sold a house of your own, how stressful that can be. The highs and the lows. This is the best time of my life and the worst time of my life, all in the same 10 minutes, right? It can be up and down. If you haven't bought a house in a while, maybe think about it. Yes.
Yeah. And, along those lines, you need to explain to them, guys, especially a seller that's if they're kind of nervous Nellies while you're taking pictures, it's gonna be a little bit bumpy with that person. So tell them, paper bag, take a deep breath. There's no real estate emergencies. Nothing is gonna happen in your transaction that probably hasn't happened before. So we got this, and really give them the confidence that yes, we have this.
And if they know that you're there and that you got this and that you're helping to reduce their anxiety, they're gonna love you forever getting through this. You become their lifeline. And so here's some things, what they emphasize: weekly client updates. Are they hearing from you often? Weekly client updates. What is your transaction timeline? Do they know what's coming next? Do they know how long the inspection period is and that kind of stuff? Do they know? Do they know who does what and when? Do you have a transaction coordinator? Have you introduced them to your transaction coordinator? Or are they going, who's this Chris guy and why is he writing me right now? Have you told them about the title company that might be reaching out and asking for some information and it's okay to talk to them? Have you done that? Be proactive with your communication, as Lonnie already mentioned there, because clients don't panic when they know what's happening next or what's going on. They're not going to panic if they know what's going on. Yep.
Yeah. How many of you guys have ever taken either a listing that had expired, another agent had, or one that was canceled from another brokerage or agent? Just a few? Okay. Most of us have. I would say a large percentage of those, if you really, and a lot of times I ask the people, I go, hey, tell me what that experience looked like. The number one thing I hear over and over again with what they didn't like about their agent, communication, almost every single time. In fact, it's seldom pricing, it's seldom marketing, it's that agent that didn't communicate at a high level. Many times they're sitting there grilling the agent, and I'm sitting there looking at it going, this agent did nothing wrong. This house is priced where it should have been. They just didn't set the right expectations. In other words, they didn't communicate at a high level. So yes, I'll take the listing and we'll get paid on it. But at the end of the day, the agent did everything right except communicate.
Well, and then here's the other thing. You guys have been working with when you're working with the sellers, sometimes you're working with them, getting the house ready, taking pictures, getting the seller's disclosure. So you're communicating a lot to get a listing on the market. If you're working with the buyer, you're working through those buyer needs. You're looking at houses. You're talking about you're out showing. You're hanging out with them. You build that little bit of a bond. I don't know about you. I love hanging out with my clients. And then whenever we get something under contract, I'm like, oh, I don't get to see him for a minute. And then, but things kind of settle down a little bit because why? Because lending and title are doing their thing. Sometimes though, they're going, wait, what's going on? Tell me what, are we good? Because I haven't heard from you for a while. Make sure they know why they're not hearing from you or why they should be hearing from you, but let them know why things have kind of slowed down a little bit. What's that? Okay. Or still just talk to them because you like them. Absolutely. Still check in. You got boxes or how's the packing going? All that good stuff.
How many times have you guys, if you're on the listing side, inspections are today at 2, and inspections maybe wrap up at 4 or 5, that night the seller's like, hey, what'd you find out about inspections, right? That tells me you did not have the conversation with them that, hey, they're going to inspect today. I usually get the results within 24 to 48 hours. That's, by the way, my line. Yeah. Sometimes they come a lot faster. We know that, but I don't want this lady blowing my phone up at 10 o'clock the same night, right? So 24 to 48 hours, once I get those, I'll take a look at what we have, and then I'll reach out to you and we'll schedule a call or whatever that looks like.
Absolutely.
So set those expectations. The appraisal, same way. Hey, the appraiser's going to be out today at 3 and all that. I need to tell them, hey, by the way, it'll probably take 3 to 5 business days for that appraisal to get back to the lender. Then they'll call me with the results to just confirm that we're at value and that we don't have any repair conditions. Absolutely.
So this could also be go back. Hey, remember that sheet I gave you when we sat down for the first time, that roadmap through a transaction? Maybe, this is where we are. So just, again, it comes down to proactive communication. So the last of the core systems would be the post-closing system. Post-closing, after the closing, the confetti, the photos, all of that, this is where businesses are actually built after the deal closes. Because of course, unless you choose to run a transactional business, which I don't know why you would want to do that, we want repeat and referral clients for life, right? Top agents know that the deal isn't done when it closes. It's just the beginning. You would agree, Ryan? I saw you shaking your head last week. I see you doing it today.
People relate throughout the transaction at this point, and I tell them, like, hey, it's basically with us, just like in the box, right? Never really out there,
Absolutely. Love it. I love it.
If you don't have that mindset, then you're all about the average commit GCI per transaction. Here's $9,400 at the end of the year, just so you know, 9,400, good number, highest
Good
ever.
number, love it.
It isn't about the 9,400. It's about what that 9,400 can be in future years. And the people that are at the top of your pyramid, I thought I wouldn't talk about it today. The people at your top of the pyramid, they're going to be worth 6 figures to you. And in many cases, even more than that over a long period of time. So, but we have to set the tone. We've got to do our great job while we're hired. And then we set the tone for getting those referrals going forward.
Again, the fortune's in the follow-up, right? So if we don't follow up, we miss out on the fortune. It's there. It just means somebody else is going to get it if we don't follow up. And remember, consistency builds trust. So continuing to follow up, continue to invite them to your events, continue to take them out for coffee, lunch, whatever. Send them the birthday cards, wish them well when they get married and have babies and all that good stuff. What does that system look like though? Are you relying on maybe hopefully that new baby announcement hits your feed? We all know we miss things on our algorithms. So if that's what you're relying on, that's not a great system. I would recommend figuring that out. Here's some post-closing, some touch points. You might think about, do you do a closing day gift and a note? Do you do that? I'm not saying you have to do these things. These are things to consider. You get to do business the way you like to do business. Are you going to do a 1-week check-in? Hey, how's the house? That does make me nervous. I do it, but it makes me nervous because they're like, well, the dishwasher broke, the heater doesn't know. I'm like, okay. they got moved in and found up some stuff. They always do, right? Well, hey, remember that home warranty we helped you? You know, I had to do that last month. Like, hey, remember that home warranty? They can fix your dishwasher. Oh, really? I didn't know that. So then I get to follow up after the dishwasher gets fixed, that kind of thing. 30-day follow up, and then your annual home anniversaries. And then think about your ongoing value touches, not just sales, not just, you know, focusing on actual houses and actual sales, but what value can you bring throughout the rest of the time? Any thoughts there, Lonnie? You
No.
do this really well. You
Yeah, we got this down. I'm not a closing gift guy, just FYI. Never have been. It's just not my thing. But the other things we're pretty good at. I like to check in with people, and it's not, hey, how's the house? You know, that then I'm just going to hear anything negative.
Sure.
Just, hey, how's getting transitioned into your neighborhood going? That sort of thing. I'm usually approaching it more of that. Selling boxes, ha ha ha, you know, that kind of thing. But I think the main thing is, guys, we've got to set the tone in the conversation with the buyer we just closed or the seller that we will be checking in on them. So it's not creepy when you're calling them every quarter. Okay.
Right.
If you'll set that tone, those calls become a lot easier because they'll recognize your number and they'll go, oh yeah, they said they were going to check in with me every quarter or so, and they'll take your call, which is what we want.
One thing, I love that. And one thing that I didn't put on here, but probably needs to go in here is, how are you asking for reviews? What is your system for asking for reviews? Where do you want the reviews to go? Are they going to Facebook, Google, Zillow? Where are the reviews going, and how are you going to get them? Fins have a great system for this. They have a lot of great systems, but I know they have a great system for this. I was talking to Trisha Henson the other day. She put her review, she put a QR code to her Google review page. She put it on her closing, the note that she puts in her closing gift. So she had special cards, custom cards. So, you know, while you're waiting on Lisa or the closer or whoever, sometimes they step out to go make copies or whatever they do. She has them open that up and she's like, hey, while we're waiting on Lisa, why don't you just go ahead and fill this out? You know, and because usually they're happy. They're at the closing table. That's a great time to collect the review.
That's
Brian,
awesome.
when do y'all collect your reviews?
Just after, we do that for a lot going on in that room, right?
Yeah.
I don't ask for it right then, but I do, the ladies usually do step out and you have a couple minutes. And
Yep.
obviously asking for a review and asking how you did, some feedback, because if we screwed it up, understandably, but if we did a great job. Hey, do you remember like one of the great things that happened in your transaction? Would you talk about that just a little bit, like the service or the communication or whatever was your favorite part about working with us? If you add that, then what's gonna happen is you're gonna get an email with a couple links on it. I'll click on the link, it'll take you right to the review, it'll take you 2 seconds to fill it out. Greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I count on that.
Absolutely. Yep. Stacy.
It'd be great if we had a little class, because it gets a little confusing about Facebook. I'm not an expert in how to set all of that up.
The reviews.
If
Well,
other people are interested, I would love to.
Sure.
Ideas for how to.
And you got to decide where you want the reviews to go, what's most priority, because sometimes I have been on the other end of things where like, hey, I need, like they'll ask me for a Facebook review, a Google review, and a Zillow review. And I'm sitting there on the other side going, I'm going to give you one. I'm going to give you one, and I'm going to pick the fastest one I can give you. I love you. I love you. You did a great job. I'm giving you one. That's me.
Isn't there a system where you can get the review and it goes out to all those things now?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So I'm sure there's a service or something you can pay for. Yes.
The same with reviews, if it's a couple, get both of them to do a review.
Yes.
It all adds up, especially on Google, and you can tell them to put in what city you bought it.
Oh, there you
If you
go.
have 100 reviews talking about your clients, throw the word Raymore out, and then somebody looks up Raymore Real Estate Agent, you're gonna pop up right under a lot of them.
Yep.
Right.
Not above. You do enough transactions, Google recommends you anyway.
Yeah.
And then another thing, another source of reviews are ask the lender. If the lender, you know, you like the lender, they liked you, ask the lender to leave you a review and say, hey, where can I leave you one as well? So I get reviews that way too.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
So
That's a really good idea.
think about other people, maybe your title person, ask all kinds of people for reviews.
You guys
know?
bust your butt for a 45-day escrow.
Yeah.
Maybe you showed that buyer houses for 2 months. You deserve and have earned the right to get this review. If you don't ask for it, shame on you. 5 years ago, I would almost say it almost didn't matter as much. It matters big time now. The world has changed. We've got to have the reviews out there. I mean, who goes to a nice restaurant anymore and spends, gosh, it's so expensive to eat out now, without checking the reviews? I mean, we all
Right.
do, right? I won't go to a hotel or a restaurant without checking and seeing what other people think. And our industry is moving that way. The young people, that's all they look at, right?
I look at reviews before I buy a controller for my kid's video game on Amazon. I read the
Okay.
reviews on Amazon. So it's kind of a thing. So if you don't have a system for that, let's be thinking about that. The other thing I wanted to tell you, I want to remind you, we don't have to fix all these systems all in one day, all in 1 month, all in 1 week. Let's pick one. And I would recommend starting with that lead gen system first. But, you know, wherever you're at, let's be doing something while you're not out showing houses, writing contracts, negotiating offers, that kind of thing. This is your job in the off
Is
season.
Trisha here today?
She's not.
Okay, perfect example. Hair on Fire joined us well, almost 3 years ago now, but came over from a company with no training. I won't tell you the name of the company, right? Was it?
No training.
Right?
No
So-
training. You're on your own. Somehow she still managed to make 6 figures. That's Trisha, right? Mega talent. But she came over and realized she didn't know a lot, but she was in the right environment. 2 years later, boom, she had a massive year. Now she's realizing I really don't have the systems to support what I just did, a hockey stick type year. So guess what she's been spending the last month on, guys? Working on systems and things like that. So when she has another great year, which she likely will, it'll go a little bit smoother and it's more sustainable. It can be more consistent.
Correct.
And feel like you're just not bouncing around like a pinball.
Absolutely. So that's the power of systems. And if you want predictable income, you need predictable past client care. I would say you need predictable systems. But your business doesn't grow to the level of your goals. And we all just set goals. So that's why I like this. It doesn't grow to the level of your goals. Just because you have a goal doesn't mean your business is going to magically rise. It grows to the level of your systems. So if you haven't hit the goal you have set, I would look into your systems, look under the hood at your systems and see what we can identify as the problem there. Any other thoughts there?
Yeah, it's David and I had a conversation over the weekend. We all know that at any given time, we could be called out on an appointment, whether it's a buyer or a seller, and we need to always be prepared for that. I don't care if you're not busy right now. At any time, someone will call you. That's a $9,400 phone call. That's a $9,400 meeting on average in this office. Be prepared, okay?
Yeah.
Instead of get the call and then we all try to figure it out. Now, a lot of us have great communication skills and we can wing it and still get hired. But that's usually not going to be the long-term solution for most people.
Correct. One thing I do want to plug, I didn't make a slide for this, but I absolutely want to plug the focus group. We just had our first focus group session on yesterday, Monday. So what it is, just so you know, and there's still time, there's always going to be, I'm never going to turn anybody away or go, oh, sorry, you signed up too late. Focus group is where it's at this year. And I'm telling you, so this is that lead generation system. So what it is on Mondays and Thursdays at 11, might be a little bit later because sometimes we have class that ends right at 11. We're going to work on that. On Mondays and Fridays from 11 to 12:30, we're going to all jump on a Zoom call together. Zoom. So you don't even have to be in the building. You can just be wherever you're at. And if you want to be a part of this, I'll get you the Zoom link. Log on. I'll have a script. I'll do a quick little role play. We'll kind of have a direction to head. Then we're going to all mute ourselves on Zoom. Hit mute and start making calls. And we're going to make calls together. We won't hear you. You won't hear me. I won't hear. We'll just see each other talking for about an hour. And then after that, we'll turn on our camera for about 10 minutes to kind of come back with our results. I made 7 calls. I talked to 5 people. I left 2 voicemails or whatever, and Stacy did it yesterday. We called, Christian wasn't there. Stacy was there and Allie was there. There was 4 of us on the call yesterday and we made, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but we made like 12 calls. We talked to 6 people. We sent 31 text messages and set 2 appointments in 40 minutes yesterday, 40 minutes of calling. We did that as a group. Now I'm going to track our activities and we're going to track our results. And I'm convinced. And by the way, I personally had a lot of fun. Time blocking is where it's at. Doing it together is where it's at. And it was fun, believe it or not. First time I've said lead generation was fun. Besides, ice cream truck lead generation or something like an event, like that would be fun. But yeah, if you want to be a part of that focus group, let's get you in there twice a week. And
Friday.
this week it's going to be Friday because we have James Shaw on Thursday. Normally Mondays and Thursdays. If I said that off, I'm sorry. Mondays and Thursdays.
That's a really small amount of time since Gary Keller says we are in the lead generation business.
Right.
For you to commit to that. Guys, it'll move the needle, I promise you. And just even role play little things like, for example, let's say I was sitting in that room and I was going to call into my sphere of influence, my database. And maybe some of those people were people I haven't talked to in a while. And Brandy's like, hey, let's work on a script real quick. That's kind of the apology script. Well, if you don't know what the apology script is, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Brandy, Lonnie Branson, how are you?
Hey, Lonnie, I'm good.
Good. Hey, I had a meeting in your neighborhood the other day, and it just made me think about you and your family. And I apologize, I haven't talked to you guys in so long, but it looks like you got a lot of exciting stuff going on.
Yeah, actually we do. Kids were home from college. It was pretty crazy there for a minute, but it's good.
Awesome, awesome. So that's how you lead into those calls, and then you just go as deep as you want with those kind of conversations. It could be a 90-second conversation. It can end up being 5-10 minutes. Somebody I think in this group had like a 20 or 30-minute. Was it Shelby?
No.
Okay.
No.
She's not here. We can make fun of her. Great communicator, by
Yeah.
the way. Great communicator. But that's what you're going to learn. And the more you do that, then those people that you feel a little wonky with because you haven't talked to them, you know them, but do I really know them? You'll figure out a way to edge into that initial conversation. And if we can break the ground with those people that are at the bottom of the triangle, in other words, we have a relationship, but it needs a heck of a lot of work, then all of a sudden it just graduates and becomes easier and easier as you touch base with them going forward.
About the apology script that you were just mentioning, Christian had an aha about that yesterday. What would you said something like pull the elephant in the room. Just can you share what you shared yesterday?
So I'm not one who talks to a lot of like my age demographic on the phone. I feel like it feels ingenuine. I feel like they would know it's ingenuine. So if I do reach out to them on the phone, instead of just like avoiding that topic of this is awkward of being on the phone, maybe it's someone I went to college with or whatever. It's like, hey, it's pretty much what you just said. It's the same apology of instead of avoiding the elephant in the room, you're putting in the room you're talking about. Hey, it's been a long time. I want to apologize that I have let this relationship go so long without, having a conversation. So I want to reach out. I was just talking to someone, usually yesterday.
Yeah.
Make up little lies all the time. I said there's a guy I went to play baseball.
Don't let the truth get in the way of any of the stuff, guys.
I guy that I played baseball with at State Fair, and I said, hey, Colton, I have not talked to him since the day I left. And I said, it's like, hey, I was calling somebody at work whose name was Colton, and it just made me think if you haven't talked to you in a long time, just want to see like what's up.
Yeah.
And just to me, that felt more genuine instead of like, sure, hey, how's it going, Colton? Like,
Yeah.
what's new? Like, where are you living now? I feel like they can smell that
Yeah.
for sure. Versus
Yeah.
if I just make up some small little white lie, put the elephant in the room, and just talk about like, hey, I just want to reach out because it's been a long time. I feel like it makes it a little more smooth.
Yeah, and then when you talk to them again in 3 or 4 months or whatever your plan is, then all of a sudden you now are moving the conversation forward. But you had to go through that first bumpy one to get this rock rolling. You got that? And then with a year from now, you would have talked to them 3 or 4 times. Now you're jamming. They're kind of almost expecting your call.
Now they're on the triangle. Back in.
I knew the triangle would make it.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's kind of what I had, Lonnie. I don't know, if what you want to do. We got
Just a couple things I wanted to talk about in addition to what we just discussed here. One of the things the Fifes were just talking about that I think is really, really important. Seller listings, guys, are the key. They're absolutely key to this business. Just so you know, we'll talk more about our overall numbers because you guys crushed the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Absolutely crushed it. We were trailing last year pretty significantly, but last year was a huge bump up year. Nobody else was going up except you guys. And then you caught up to 2024 and surpassed it. So by the way, our volume ended up being up 5% and our GCI, the money you guys dragged through the door, up 7.5% in a flat market. And that's comparing a year before that was a amazing, amazing year. So really, really cool. Guess what we didn't do well? We didn't list as many houses. Our listings were down 7%. Okay. Now, before we go, oh, we stink at listings, you still listed more than everybody by far. No surprise there. But the listings sold volume, the volume of our listings selling and closing was the highest in the history of the market center. That's good. Yeah. Give yourself a hand.
Yeah.
I like that.
Stop, guys.
So your listings were down 7%, but the volume on the listings you sold was up 8%. Okay. What that means, you took higher quality listings and higher price listings. Okay, so our listings, all of a sudden, we did take few of them, but they performed at a higher level than maybe ever before. And our average sales price in here went up about 6%. So we all get a 6% raise there. So back when I'm talking about on the seller listings, the reason we have to have those is what we were just talking about. Where's that property? Was it Oak Grove or Green Valley or something?
Odessa.
Okay, Odessa. Give me listings in these rural areas and hit those local channels out there. You will double dip a bunch of houses doing that, because those people out there are less apt to be attached to an agent, bound to an agent, and all those sorts of things. Guys, there is nothing wrong with making 6% on a deal. Okay. If you want to give them a deal at 5% because it's an unrepresented buyer, that's all part of your business arrangement. But there are opportunities like crazy, and not just in these rural areas. We just had somebody in our office close one in Creekmore. An unrepresented buyer came in and they just made a big chunk of change. Okay. So the listing side of the business is where our opportunities are going to be. But think about not just I'm going to make money on this side, but could I find a buyer myself for this, unrepresented or whatever that looks like? A lot of money in that, guys. The one plus of when they changed our commission structures here a year and a half, 2 years ago, was we do see a little bit more of that unrepresented buyer floating around. Has anybody closed any of those deals? Nanette, you're about to? Nanette has? Nobody has? Okay. Well, Finn has. He's just walked out. But nonetheless, we have as an office. I see them come through here. So we need to think differently. I'm not happy with just a $300,000 listing that I'm charging the guy 3% and that's $9,000 and good for me. We're not just going to be content with that. Is there a way to go through all these other channels to possibly pick up a prospect for this? I love pre-MLS for that. Okay. You can lob it out there in all those channels and see what happens. Nanette put something, some guy was on Facebook the other day just complaining about his rent or something, right? And Nanette engages the guy because he was all pissy about his rent. Turns out he's got amazing credit. He makes a ton of money. Guess what? I think they're in their closing right now. Yeah, she just happened to be the person to engage her. Right. Took a little bit different approach, like, hey, I can sympathize with you and all that. So there's a lot of different ways to skin this cat, guys. We just got to be thinking differently. But I love the idea that every seller listing has possibilities above and beyond just being a seller side closing for you guys. Does that make sense? Okay. We also this year, we're all about engagement. Engage the business. Brandy's doing an initiative now where she's literally providing a window twice a week for our people to lead generate and kind of teamify the effort. Yep. For me, it's easier if I'm sitting there hanging around with a couple other people talking about how bad my call just was or how awful I was on the phone, just laughing our way through it. Okay. But also, texting these people, emailing, all these touches. Your focus group, how long will you guys do that? 40 something minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But had you not done that, I would guess those all would have been 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay. So forced lead generation, I hate to say it, but we're having to do that to get some of the people into activity and engagement. We need to be a little bit more self-starters, kind of where I'm going with that. Okay. Well, we'll serve you really, really well. Last thing, our skill set has to improve. If we're going to get these listings that we want, we have to be more talented in the conversations around the listings and the meetings. Buyers too. You've got to nail your presentation with a buyer. You have to know the first time they engage you. Okay, here's what you don't say. Okay, well, because of the commission changes 18 months ago, we now have to have you signed under agency before we go show houses. In other words, you're committed to me. No, there's a better way to do that. Hey, here's what we like to do to be sure you have a great experience. So I like to bring you in the office. We'll spend 30 minutes together and I'll kind of map out for you what this process looks like from start to finish, okay? I'm not gonna spend a lot of time about signing buyer agency docs. Let me get in here and build relationship. Then that part will be really, really easy. You guys get that? Big difference in how you go about these things. Our agent kickstart thing that we initiated about a year ago-ish. Is that about right? Yep. Okay, that has tools. And by the way, we can see you guys. It shows when the last time you logged in and engaged and what modules you've looked at and stuff. We get to see, okay? So we're not utilizing that anymore at a very high level at all. So I highly recommend that there's two things in there that I really like. The presentations for buyers and sellers, the listing presentations. I like it. It's done by different people with a different approach. Look at how they do it. And then anything it has to do with database and lead generation off the database. Her system in there is fantastic. So while we're still not in the spring season of real estate, this would be a great time to put just a few hours in. By the way, those modules go pretty fast. I mean, it's pretty easy stuff. And work on your craft. What you're probably going to realize really quickly is, okay, I thought I kind of had a buyer presentation for buyers. You'll probably immediately realize yours is not adequate. And you'll want to change and supplement a bunch of things that she's doing. If you have a list, by the way, you all have a listing presentation. You just either have a good one or you don't, okay? Well, as soon as you see how she does things, You may not duplicate it, but I bet you'll get 2 or 3 things that you'll start to incorporate that will help you through those processes. These meetings are on average $9,400 meetings, guys. $9,400 is at stake when you sit down in front of somebody. I want to freak you out. That's just the average. By the way, some of your meetings are $20,000 meetings. Some of them are less, right? We don't know what price you're dealing with, but don't fumble then. Get your systems down and work on your game a little bit, and you'll have a higher probability of getting paid. Okay? Even if you get hired, if you don't know what to say after you've been hired, you can get unhired. Okay? We don't have a lot of that, do we, Darren? A lot of requests for cancellation. But I just got one of those calls, I think it was Thursday or Friday, and it was almost $1 million property. The agent from North Kansas City got the listing here in Cass County because she was all that in a bag of chips, right? A lot of jazz hands and all that kind of stuff. And the lady was just blown away by it. Well, once the house went in pre-MLS, and it's going to be in pre-MLS for about a month, her neighbors and everything said, well, what's your price? And she told them, and they all looked at her like, it's never going to bring that much money. Where did you get that? She's like, well, my agent, she's awesome, and all this kind of stuff. So it turns out the property is well over $200,000 overpriced. Okay, so jazz hands don't matter now. Now that the lady's going back to her agent going, hey, my neighbors are all thinking I'm batshit crazy. Sorry, Amber, swear jar. Where did you come up with this number? I mean, I love it. I want that money, but they're saying we're nuts. Oh, is that right? Okay. Yeah. So anyway, what'll end up happening is, yeah, jazz hands got her in the door. It even got her hired, but having no substance behind that's probably going to get her unhired or fired. Okay, that's how our industry works. Okay, now these are binding listings. The broker has to release it, all those kind of things. I get that, but I'll tell you what, if one of your sellers calls Darren and says, hey, Jenny isn't communicating with me at a high level.
Not Jenny.
No. But the agent isn't communicating with me at a high level. I've really lost confidence in this agent and trust. To be honest with you, Darren, it's very hard for us to stay in business with that person. Okay, our culture tells us we probably need to go ahead and let them find someone else, if that makes sense. So didn't mean to end on that, but at the end of the day, listings are a battle cry. You guys will crush it this year. Todd's got rates going down, and we like that part. Yeah, I mean, Politics aside, some of these things that Trump has been saying have caused the mortgage rates to move down because that could have some effect on those things. So, hey, man, we'll take the good with the bad, right? That's all I got.
Well, thanks for the happy birthday surprise. Yay. Make sure we get some cake. I wanted to make an announcement. I'm sorry at the end, but Tori, thanks for hanging out with us today.
Oh,
Tori's a newly licensed agent, and she's checking us out. You live in Raymore. All right, got a couple. She goes to Blush. Okay, another Blush girl. All right. Well, if you see Tori, tell her hello and welcome. So, all right, now we're done. Eat some cake.
Eat some cake.
Eat some cake.
Get some sugar.
You. It's a surprise.
Well,
thanks. Yep.
What's
that? What's that? For the cake.
No, I said